yet arrived. I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. Wait 5 minutes before I tell you about this ultimate creepy synchronicity I had today. I'm describing it as creepy and nothing else because that's all it is. And I know a few people are gonna come, so I gotta wait till that moment when it feels proper to do so. So, before that, I want to talk about the strangeness of this month. How every year there seems to be a sort of ramped up energy. There's a reason why April is celebrated as the month of fertility by the pagans, which turned into, as you know, Easter. Now, you can look at fertility as something, very surface level, but it's not just fertility in the context of creating life or something of that nature. It's a fertility of the mind, too. It's a fertility of growth and potential. And within that, there seems to be a lot of chaos that ensues amongst that fertile mind space that April represents. And this year it's especially weird. Hey, Loyalty, what's going on? How are you? Speaking of fertility, this is the place with a bunch of bunnies. Bunnies everywhere. So, I'm gonna get into the strange synchronicity in a couple of minutes here. But I just wanted to talk about how our perception of, well, at least I shouldn't say our, maybe I should say mine. I don't know what, I can't speak for everyone else. But I've been thinking about the Mandela effect a lot lately again. And have come to realize that whatever it is that's causing it, it's trying to show us that all of these changes ultimately boil down to nothing but concepts and form. And these concepts and forms are so malleable and ever changing that it's almost like a filtration process that is filtering through into a pure form of consciousness. And what did you say? The live chat keeps going away. Just got back from an 8-mile walk and my crown was spinning the whole way. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a pretty long walk too. Yeah, this I don't really have my mind is kind of in that sort of weird space as well, and really not prepared to talk tonight, and that's okay because I just want to talk. So but yeah, it's there's like a clarity that opens up in the springtime. Um, and it's part of that filtration process, I feel, where you're sort of kind of twisting and bending around all these sort of ideas and concepts and forms, and you're kind of like a worm, right? And you're digging yourself through the dirt in an attempt to find what you just said, the crown, right? The crown, corona, as we've been hearing all this time. And I feel like this is significant. And it seems like every April, there is a sort of intensity that is infused into everything. There's so many significant events that have happened every April for years and years, and weird birthdays of significant people like Hitler. And it's always been a strange month. There's 2 months that have always been really odd to me with a lot of weird energy, and that's April and October. Always something weird goes down in both of those months. So if anyone else feels the same, I'll gladly hear you. But so speaking of weirdness, the synchronicity. So at this new place I work at, we have, fortunately, tons of snacks and all kinds of stuff you can get as much as you want. Yes, loyalty, it is the deadliest month. It is. It feels like it is the deadliest month with the most catastrophes, it seems like. And they had these little 5-hour energy shots in the cabinet that I've never been into or cared for at all. And I mean, I tried them a couple of times. Nothing, didn't look anything up about them. I just read the bottle. I didn't Google anything about the energy shots. Nothing. My phone wasn't even around the damn bottles. What have I been seeing all day? Advertisements for 5-hour energy. Now, what is that? Why would I be seeing ads to something? I literally probably haven't seen ads to that specific product for years. And I can't make sense of it. There's literally no reason, unless it's like reading my area, like like the phone is alive and it's like in, and it's aware of everything I'm ingesting. Like I don't know how else it would be possible, or the camera took a picture of it. I don't know. Like why would I be getting ads? It just, I don't know. It's creeping me out. It's kind of weird. All right. Anybody else coming on? Anybody else want to talk? And well, speaking of people that come on here, I have a friend here. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he wanted to keep our conversation private, but just out of respect, I won't say his name. But he comes on here a lot, and we talked on the phone recently. Oh, hey, I'm glad to see you. We're just talking about whatever, basically. I mean, weirdness, energy, consciousness, Mandela effect, April being a weird month all the time. Have you been seeing bright flash? Yes! Thank the Lord you brought that up. Have you been seeing bright flashing in the corner of the... Yes, I have. A lot. A lot. And I'm like, what is this? Because I can't recall ever experiencing that before. but it's weird. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the year of the tiger, yeah. It is the year of the tiger. This might be a very significant year, and it probably will be. I have been for about a week now. Okay. Hang on, guys. We got some people that arrived here for some reason. Doesn't seem like anything. People come over to this parking lot to smoke pot and stuff. So I'm gonna close the door because I don't want them coming in here. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Yes. So, what do you think that means, loyalty? Everything it's not that I'm only seeing bright flashes. Everything appears much brighter to me in general. Colors are much brighter. The daytime sun is much brighter. Everything looks very hazy and dreamlike, and it's becoming increasingly so. And when I talk to this friend who comes on here in the live streams quite often, he's telling me something that I could really relate to, but very hard to explain in words. And that is, he's having difficulty remembering like the most basic stuff, but not in a dementia Alzheimer's sort of way, in a very different way. Like he would give me an example of tying your shoes, something that's automatic is starting to become questionable at this point. Really seemingly stupid things are becoming like almost thrown out of our minds. And I can attest to that because it seems to be the case with me as well, unless I have dementia now or something, but where I'm in this process of where these so-called normal things that we're used to doing have no semblance of normalcy at all. Nothing at all. It makes no sense. Day-to-day living makes no sense anymore. I think we have angels guarding us for something that's coming. Yeah. You know, perhaps these sort of weird energy glitches occur before a major event. I think that's very, very possible and probable. There's a lot of ancient prophecies that actually discuss that very idea. Even the Hopi prophecies and ancient myths and legends where they would talk about things that we're talking about now. It's changes in the sky, changes in the appearance of the sun and everything. And before that, you know, a comet would arrive or a big volcano would explode. And it could be very much a cyclical process, what we're going through. I've always felt like it might have been a cyclical process. But I like this idea of angels guarding us. Maybe angels are guarding us. Yeah, and it's weird ramping up of energy from Hitler's birthday to the Oklahoma City bombing. Remember the cathedral fire days, the Oklahoma City bomb. I think was it 2000 exactly like that cathedral fire. You know what I'm talking about, right? Remember? Since a few more people came, I just want to repeat real quick my synchronicity with this stupid energy shot. I have free stuff at work and this new place I'm at, and I'm not into these energy shots. I've had a couple over the last few days. I never search anything about them. Nothing. So, nothing, right? You wouldn't expect anything. So, I start seeing ads for 5-hour energy on my phone like all the time now. Didn't take a picture of them, didn't Google them, nothing. I haven't seen ads for that thing in years. And it's like this, it's like this sort of weaving electrical tentacle thing that's like weaving everything together like a spider's web. Yes, I said spider's web. That's what the Hopi would have called it too. Snowstorm. A snowstorm? Where do you live? Yeah, but you must live in a cold place. All right, I'm gonna open the door again. It's just somebody walking their dog. I was like, oh no. I called them the Borg. Yeah, it's a Borg. It's a freaking organism. It feels like a living organism of some kind that sort of just like attaches itself like to everything, and it has to just suck out all the information from everything for whatever reason in this like very I don't know how to call it. It just feels alive to me, whatever this hive mind thingy is that's attempting to integrate everything together. It just feels very living to me. There's a new channel on YouTube talking about Project Looking Glass. Oh yeah, FF. Yeah, we've been trying to predict that stuff for years and years though. Hey, but look, some stuff came true, depending on how you look at it, of course. So I did hear about that. That friend I talked to on the phone that I just mentioned, him feeling these strange memory glitches. He mentioned that as well. He did send a video that I forgot to check out, but I will. I know exactly who you're talking about. I want to check it out. Why specifically it seems to be always that time frame too, when it's like 18th, 19th, 20th. That time frame is always significant in April for whatever reason. I did make a community post today talking about the diamonds, right? I've never knew that the diamond was the birthstone for April. I'm like, what? I could have swore it was something else. I absolutely could have swore it was something else. I'm like, the diamond? And then the diamond news came out today. I just thought that was another interesting synchronicity with the diamond news, with the sanctioning of the diamond mind and the diamond month and the diamond ring and iPad Go 2. And I had to bring it up. I had to say something about it. When you have a daisy and a diamond together. And then I found out that there's a calla lily that's in there that's also associated with Easter. I had no idea there was a connection with this particular flower with Easter, but I guess there is. But it's interesting that we have Easter on the 16th, then we have a full moon, and then at the end of the month we have a solar eclipse, a partial solar eclipse that goes over Antarctica and Easter Island. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and it's pretty windy here today, guys. Air is fresh though. It's still been fresh this whole time, so I'm happy about that. Oh man, forgive me if I'm just rambling on in this stream. I know it's very unorganized. I apologize. Before I watch a video about that, Lynx, can you share anything else about that, or why do you feel they found? I know about Project Looking Glass, of course, through Project Camelot and people like that, and I'm very familiar with it. But what is it? Is it like remote viewing? I think my friend told me it was remote viewers, right? Because I do watch remote viewing stuff sometimes, like the Far Sight Institute, and I'm always like 50-50 with it, to be honest. it's a hit or miss type of situation. Like, yes, it's accurate sometimes. There's definitely some like whoa moments, but like 75% of the time, it's very vague, broad information that could be interpreted in so many ways. They're like, I just wish they could like pinpoint more specific targets like they keep trying to get to, you know what I mean? Like, for example, like Ed Dames would do that, or the military remote viewer. He would get as specific as possible. And the older projects that Farsight did, if you're familiar with them, I don't know if any of you guys are, but it's literally like a school for remote viewing. Like from a few years back, they had some really in-depth projects where they really dug deep into the JFK assassination, all kinds. It was super interesting. And since then, it's just kind of gotten weird. But then again, if the good stuff, you got to pay a lot of money for if you want to see the good stuff of theirs. I'm just talking about the free stuff they put out isn't really that great anymore, in my opinion. Okay, it's just my opinion here. Birthstones have been shifting for me, except mine has remained the same, amethyst. I play a remote viewing game called RV Tournament. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've done a little myself too. I was really into it probably like in 2018, around there. I was super into remote viewing and channeling more like 2015, but remote viewing later on. Again, it's all these things though, right? And it's like the Mandela effect and all this stuff, and it's all just forms and expressions of forms. And it's like my consciousness is yearning for that more purified expression of self, expression of consciousness, because all of these things ultimately are forms and ideas. Forms and ideas. Stillness. Sometimes, sometimes the soul hungers for information like it does mine, but sometimes the soul hungers for stillness too. And you just mentioned about the birthstones. That's what I meant when I said April being a diamond. I could have swore that's like Mandela affected or something, because I used to know all the birthstones of every month, and I used to know this stuff. And April being diamond, it just seems odd to me. I don't know. Probably was Mandela affected, or it's a reality glitch for me personally. I don't know. Yeah, so any more information about that supposed FF event? Or you could send me a link, even though I know for some reason your messenger doesn't work, links, right? For some reason, like she could send stuff, but I can't reply. Yeah, I don't know why that is. But anyway, how's everyone doing? Oh, some of your comments disappeared. What is going on? So what do you think about what do you think about my post about the Will Smith Will Smith hitting Chris Rock? I mean, I don't think, look, the post I made implied like I'm saying it was staged. No, I don't think that. I don't think it was staged. I really don't. I think he actually did it. That's not my point. My point is like the same point I was trying to make in yesterday's video, where the 9/11 in the show that I'm almost done with, by the way, and it's getting really weird at this point. It's like a sort of mind mesh insertion into the reality, like Matt from Quantum of Conscience talks about. And it's like the same sort of idea with Will Smith, something, an idea infused with his being. You could call it possession, for lack of a better word, that caused him to do this. And yes, there's also ego involved and narcissism and all those surface level things I'm talking about. Deeper level things where he might have been used as a vessel to convey a message, is what I'm trying to say. and Chris Rock being the rock where I built my church. And the same church, the Notre Dame Cathedral that burned down this month. I think that cathedral was a representation of the totality of all churches. And him smacking the foundation stone, the rock, is him basically rising. He's a lot taller too. So there's a sort of metaphor there. He's a lot taller than Chris Rock, Will Smith is. So him striking down the foundation stone was symbolic of rising above, quote unquote, church doctrine or whatever. It's just an opinion. Okay, look, it's just my opinion. But I shared another post by an individual who basically confirmed that, and I shared it in the community post. But I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, it is sad. It is sad, yeah. It's freaking stupid, to be honest. It's stupid that it's gotten this much attention to where I'm talking about it. Yeah. Possession, rather. Yeah, possession. He kind of had that ambiance to him, or that sort of look to him of possession, not like on an extreme level or anything like The Exorcism, but something more subtle, perhaps. But I think there was a message conveyed there. Like, I was just walking today, like meditating a little bit, and I'm like, Chris Rock. And I remember this song I heard a while back, "Upon this rock, I will build my church." And I'm like, okay, there's got to be something to it. And then, Christ, rock, church. He's striking down Christ, who is building the church. And I think it's a very symbolic event. And that's one of the reasons why it did get so much attention, because people kept talking about the Oscars nobody cares about anymore, and I've never really cared about them, so I wouldn't know. And they blew this way out of proportion, like they usually do. And for a reason, because it conveyed that message. But there's more to it too. Some of the weird movies Will Smith's been in, stuff related to mind control and robotics and government secrets and all these things. There's more to it. I got to think about this though. Oh, Independence Day. How about that one? Remember that movie? Yeah. Okay, I had a dream about 5 nights before the Oscars that I was there and some type of disruptive event had taken place and it came true. Whoa. So you had essentially a vision, or basically you saw into the future. That's incredible. Dan, you arrived. I'm about to go in a few minutes, but you arrived, so that means I'm gonna stay. Dan Beck in the house. Remember Will Smith said your highest point, the devil's there. What? Whoa. What is that supposed to mean? Your highest point, the devil's there? Uber weird. I also heard that Denzel Washington's and others around him came over to pray with him and for him. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, maybe he should be prayed for the love of God. I mean, it's just really strange behavior, right? It's really strange behavior to do something like that in such a public place. It's very mentally unstable. So I'm not against anybody praying for him. Oh yeah, his speech too. His speech was very, very weird. Everything was very, very weird and possessive-like. You're totally right. I'm a bit delayed, but the Project Looking Glass stuff is being claimed that these military people who actually worked with the data from the project, I will drop a link in comments. Oh, please do. I totally forgot to watch about that. I gotta see that though. I gotta look into that. Of course, though, there's questionable stuff regarding not Project Looking Glass itself, but some of the people who claim to have been part of it. So I did a little bit more research, actually, now that you brought this up, that one of the people that, what's her name? Project Camelot interviewed about Project Looking Glass claimed to be a Navy SEAL, and he was in fact not a Navy SEAL, and that was confirmed. So I was like, not good, not a good sign. But there's other people that seem more legitimate. I really question when people say every third word is like, oh, it's top secret. It's top secret. Can't talk about it. If everything is top secret, you got to question the legitimacy of their claims. That's all I'm saying, okay? Because that's a cop-out just to say everything's top secret. Just a learning process, nothing more. I'm not being judgmental or anything. I just found out that this one guy she interviewed was never a Navy SEAL, so. Okay, anyway, I posted it on Twitter 2 nights before the Oscars. I have to get this out now. I had a dream 2 nights ago. I was at the Oscars set to wear on 327 in the US. There were very few celebrities. Their auditorium was in disarray, disorganized, half under construction, felt like no one was paying attention. I'm sure that's probably what it was like anyway. And then Will Smith made it relevant again. Yeah, isn't it an interesting phenomenon how, the idea of celebrity has sort of been dissipating, right? And not just celebrity in movies, but music and all these things. All of these ideas are sort of, whereas before they were idolized as gods, basically, where now I don't think that's as common anymore. Of course, you got like people like the Kardashians and blah, whatever people are into, but like generally speaking, I think that's the sort of idea of being a star is really disintegrating. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's not, but something is changing with that for sure. My takeaway is there is potential for something interesting, notable to happen before or during. Okay, right? If you are whistleblower, then you expose truth and your secrets. Yeah. Oscars 3/27/2022 to be perceived as strange, notable, significant, so as to distract away completely, cancel or divert attention. May also note lack of Whoa, so that's what you posted on Twitter, GSS1123. That's pretty incredible. You had some serious insights into this. It's really cool that this happened and that you're sharing it with us. That is a very good observation about the name Chris Rock. It fits and makes perfect sense. Yes, Christ on the rock. Yeah. The foundation stone. And there's, esoteric symbolism and meaning behind the foundation stone itself. The foundation stone of the Washington Monument where corn, wine, and oil were poured over. I think George Washington himself attended that particular ceremony. And as we know, the Washington Monument being the phallus of an Egyptian god, Osiris, I think. The rock. A rock in general is a symbolic thing, right? I've never... Obelisks always bothered me, guys. I don't know what it is. When I was in Washington, D.C. in 2017, I saw the Washington Monument, and I'm like, dude, this thing, it just looks odd. It just looks odd. I don't know what it is. Like I drive by this neighborhood near my apartments, and they have like this huge obelisk there, like in the middle of the square. I'm like, what for? Like, it's something. It's symbolic. It draws energy is what I'm trying to say. I really believe it does. Okay, anyway, I'm getting off topic, sort of. Oscars, that was very true. People on Oscars would have strong political influence. Yeah, that was posted on 3/26. Do you think it was real or staged? Oh yeah, just before you came, Dan, I think it was real. Okay, so what I was saying is that I think it was real, but Will Smith was under some sort of subtle possession, or his mind was intercepted by entities or whatever in order. And I did mention, yes, there's ego and narcissism involved, but that is surface level. On a deeper level, there was infiltration that took place, which caused them to do this in order to send a message against, I guess, the church, just like Madonna did in her 2019 Eurovision contest. Her main message during that show seemed to be against the church too, but it's not really clear. I don't know exactly what she's trying to say. I'm going to assume it's against the church. And I think this is the same idea, but I don't think it was staged, Dan. I really don't. I just don't. I don't know. It felt really genuine to me. That's my opinion. Okay, so I'm seeing obelisks in cemeteries now. Yeah, there are a lot of obelisks in cemeteries too. You're right. Yeah. Always something about them that bothered me. And another thing that bothers, speaking of Egyptian stuff, where is the capstone to the damn Great Pyramid? I have a feeling it's somewhere, that it didn't disappear. It's somewhere. It's just hidden or something. And somebody knows where it is. I've been really bothered by the capstone to the Great Pyramid lately. And another synchronicity with that, I was browsing Reddit, and there was an aerial photograph of the Great Pyramid above where the capstone would be. I'm like, haha, just like all the 666s I'm seeing, right? Okay, sorry. What's the chat saying? And the chat is saying, oh, there's an ME about Chris Rock saying, uh-oh. Yeah. My friend Teresa told me about that. He's saying, uh-oh, here comes King Richard. Now he said, uh-oh, yes. I heard that shifted or changed. The Chris Rock, the Rock at the Temple Mount, exactly, yes. I feel it real too. Yeah, it was real. I mean, Chris Rock was genuinely disturbed by this, so he was not playing around. Like, he was hiding it well, but he was pretty bothered by this. You could tell. He is twin flame with Jada, and they have a telepathic connection. Yeah, I think you're right. And they're probably part of some ancient bloodline as well, especially Jada. She is definitely part of some ancient bloodline. You can just tell by looking at people. You don't have to be a mind reader or whatever. Sometimes you could just tell who's part of like something significant in their genetic past. You have that sort of intuitive sense about it, okay? Yeah, he was in shock, yeah. All right, guys, I'll go for 5-6 more minutes. I don't know how much I made sense in this live stream. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk. Like I said yesterday, I've been a little bit out of it lately, and it's all good. It's just April. They're certainly bloodline, also his last name. Yeah. I don't know, what's the... Besides like a blacksmith, who makes weapons and tools, I don't know what else the meaning of Smith is, and that it's a very common name, but yeah. Just like walking down the street, upon this rock, I will build my church. I was like, whoa, I remember that song. Okay, Game of Thrones. It's all just the Game of Thrones. Yeah. People kept telling me about this show for years. I've never seen a single episode. I guess it would be though. Game of Thrones. Without knowing almost anything about that show, I'm gonna take a guess. It's about some mythical lands, and they're in endless war and power struggle. Yes, like Earth, right? Endless war and power struggles. That's pretty much the basis and foundation of almost every show. So, it's the same idea everywhere. Smith Garcia are one of the most powerful families in the United States. Yeah, I believe it. Hey, the cello piano. Yeah, it's all good. It's a super casual conversation tonight anyway. The houses of V, the houses of. What is houses of V? Not sure what that is. Please enlighten me. Is that another? Since we talked about Will Smith so much, I will change the title of the stream a little bit. But I'm glad that we sort of have this similar idea that there is a deeper meaning behind this event that was sending a message. And I really feel that is the case. Like Middle Earth, this realm sucks. Yeah, man, feels like purgatory. Feels like April has been, it feels like every April is the month of purgatory too. It's like, I don't know, it's some sort of, we've like creating this inner purgatory for ourselves for whatever reason. I feel, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Okay, I'm gonna go, guys, because I'm not making much sense anymore. So, thanks for coming on. Y'all have a good night, and appreciate everyone. I just meant reality now seems openly like in the houses of whoever versus the house. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep. It was like an opening event for World. Yeah. Have a good night. Yeah, you too, Loyalty. Y'all have a good night.